Yeezy are at it again. They're dropping another 700. This time it's a 700 V1. Over the last few months, we've seen a lot of 700 V2s and V1s dropping, and they're chopping and changing between the two variants of the 700. Why they're doing that, I'm not too sure. But what we are looking at today is a cracking looking sneaker, and I have a question for you out there. Do you think the upcoming release of the Yeezy 700 Magnet is the closest that we've come to a colorway that matches the original Wave Runner? This is Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel, Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel です。毎日アップするので毎日見てください. Every single day I'm bringing you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today we're having a look at the Adidas Yeezy 700 Magnet. And as I said at the top of this video, I'm asking the question, is this the closest we've come to the original Wave Runner in colorway and silhouette? It is a V1. I also said that earlier on at the start of the video. It is a V1, not a V2, and the 700 line have been dropping a mix and match of V1s and V2s recently, which was most obvious in the inertias with the inertia V1s. No, I think it was V2s. Oh, now I'm confused. I think it was the V1s. The V1s dropping earlier this year, and then just recently the V2s coming. I think it's in that order. And that kind of is interesting to me. It might be interesting to you out there as well. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments down below if it is. But what's interesting to me about it is that in most of the releases from the Adidas line. If you think of Ultra Boost 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2019, what's happened with them is that as one has come out, the previous ones have sort of faded away. But with the Yeezy 700 line, they're still chopping and changing. They're still chopping it up between the V1s and the V2s. They haven't sort of faded out the V1s and faded in the V2s. They're kind of both going side by side. And if you think about that in terms of Yeezy 350 V1s and 350 V2s, 350 V1s are almost impossible to get your hands on. They definitely haven't dropped any colorways in that line for years, literally. But V2s, they drop all over the place. So these 700 V1, V2s mixing and matching is kind of interesting to see Adidas doing that. But like I said, we're going to have a quick look at the V1 magnets, the 700 V1 magnets today, and look to see the commonalities between that and the original Wave Runners. But before we do that, this is a YouTube channel, and all YouTubers ask you out there to subscribe to the channel. So if you can hit that subscribe button down below, leave a comment, hit the like button, I'd surely appreciate it. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I always say at the start of my videos, 登録よろしくお願いします。コメントも書いてもらうと助かるので、いいねをクリックすると助かるので、その3点、登録、いいね、コメントやると助かるのでよろしくお願いします. Okay, now let's have a look at this sneaker. There's a few things I want to say about it. First and foremost, I've said it already a couple of times, V1 versus V2. And I usually say this when I talk about 700s, and I usually say it when I talk about Nike Foamposite, because they're very similar, the V1 and the V2, and the Foamposite 1 and the Foamposite Pro. And there's some like quick ways that you can tell the difference between the two. It's a bit like Air Jordan 1 highs and Air Jordan 1 mids. There's some quick ways to see the difference between the two. And in the case of the 700 V1s and 700 V2s, it's all to do with that Nike branding, and you can't see it. I'm surely putting up a picture behind me here of the magnets, and you can't see the branding on the side because it's kind of 3M or highlight. You know, when you shine a certain light on it, you can see it. But in that like midfoot panel there, it has vertical 3-stripe branding, which is only visible under certain colors of light. V2s don't do that. They actually have in the patchwork, in the fabric of the upper, they have horizontal, 3 horizontal lines that run through a similar place. And as you can see in here, they definitely don't have 3 horizontal lines running through that midfoot patch. Therefore, these guys are V1s. Now, I said at the top of this video, I think maybe it's the closest we've come to those Wave Runners, and it's to do with the color blocking. If you think of the Geodes or what else is there? It was Vantas and things like that. The colors were very sort of similar throughout. Bone whites as well. Have dropped. There were salts. There's an awful lot of different 700s and even 500s that have dropped recently. The color blocking on these magnets is what I'm really interested in. Where they've put the grey felt, where they've put the darker grey mesh, where they've put the suede. Of course, the actual physical location of these materials on the upper hasn't changed, but where they've decided to go with the dark colors versus the light shades reminds me very much of those Wave Runners. And in particular, when you get down to that sort of midsole where you've got the black bar at the back and then the orange kind of heel dashes, there's 2 of them on there, which very much reminds me me of the Wave Runners. So at first look, I say, yes, this very much looks like a Wave Runner. But also at first look, I had a problem with these sneakers. And that was when they just look too clean, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense to people out there. Maybe other people are thinking the same thing. But they just look too clean to me. And they look too clean in two different places. Now, what I mean by too clean, if anyone out there is interested in or uses like word processing software like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, or what's the Apple variant of that? It's not... oh gosh, I've forgotten the app. Oh, it was right there and then it went again. I bet it pops into my mind in a couple of seconds' time. But anyway, word processing, they have a fill tool that's like a paint pot that's pouring paint into a cell or a segment, and you can fill the segment using that. But when you do use the fill, it's like a consistent, all across whatever you've filled is a consistent color. There's no variance, there's no sort of like shading between one area and the other. It's an absolute solid. If you go for red, boom, solid red, you know. Go for gray, boom, solid gray. And there's no character about it. And that's what these magnets remind me of. If you look at them, and again, like surely behind me here, there's a picture of this. If you look at not only the panels, but also the overlays on the top as well, even though they are mesh and suede and leather, if you look at them, I think there's a real sort of consistency about the color, which is not good. Okay, it's not something I think you want on sneakers. I think it takes away the character. And they just look really solid. The panels and the overlays look really, really solid and uniform. And I think that's to the detriment of the sneaker. I think the sneaker would look better with a little bit of character. I like my suede roughed up a bit, or my leather, a bit tumbled leather and things like that. But in the case of these guys, it almost just looks like I said, that fill from Microsoft Word has filled in each of the overlays or underlays and panels. And it makes this sort of consistent, uniform look, which is actually more boring than cool, in my opinion. And as I say on my channel, a lot of opinions are important to me, and sharing opinions is important even if they differ from your own. So you're welcome to say, butter, I disagree with you on that, I think it looks good. And I won't disrespect your opinion, I won't challenge your opinion. I might give my opinion back to you, but I won't sort of flatten your opinion. I think it's important to share and to share our thoughts. So that's my thoughts and my opinions on the upcoming release of the Adidas Yeezy 700 Magnet. Sure to be a fire shoe, sure to sell out really fast. I mean, anything in the 700 line right now is really hot, even though I say all the time that I'm not a fan and I won't be buying these things, but I'm sure you guys out there who are interested will be buying them, and I'm sure they'll sell and sell really well. Okay, it's time for me to check off, and thank you guys for checking out my content as usual. I'm having a bit of a stutter in the Tuesday Top 10. I got 4 episodes into Tuesday Top 10 about cakes and Japanese desserts. I was really enjoying it, but I haven't been able to sort of prepare episode 5, so tomorrow should be the Tuesday Top 10, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think I'm going to have to slip a sneaker in there and come back to those delicious cakes that I was enjoying eating so much, hopefully next week or sometime in the future. But tomorrow, instead of that Tuesday Top 10, look forward to another sneaker. For now, it's time for me to sign off, and as I do this every single day, I can confidently say to you, you will definitely see me tomorrow.